Boom! Welcome into SportsBit 2.0. Betting Insight today, Pauly and Teddy, SBRpicks.com. Busy show coming up. Big game breakdown, the Final Four. Also, our pick to win it all now that we're down to the Final Four as well. Play of the day. And a good game, intriguing game. Thunder at home on a back-to-back, taking on the Nuggets, who are finishing a 7-game road trip. All that coming up. And a great day, the opening day in Major League Baseball. A lot of stuff happened. We'll get to that in a second. First, we start with the bad news. Another big injury in the NBA. Oh, boy. Bye-bye 3 seed and maybe bye-bye home court in the first round of the playoffs. Embiid done for the rest of the regular season. Could miss the first round of the playoffs. He's out 2 to 4 weeks. This Ben Golliver tweet, Teddy, what Embiid means to the Sixers on and off the floor, offense and defense. They are 7.5 at Atlanta tonight. They do play some easy teams the rest of the way, but a big blow and a harmless play as Fultz bumps into him, and he has to have the surgery with the orbital fracture.
Yeah, when you fracture your face, it makes for a rough day. And let's get that tweet up there from Ben Golliver one more time. Look at the numbers. Almost 10 points per 100 possessions worse offensively, equal to the Grizzlies without Embiid. And defensively, they go from best in the NBA to number 14 without him. How much do the markets react to Embiid's injury? And, of course, how long will he be out for? Still to be determined. I was a little bit surprised to see Philly laying the price they were at Atlanta tonight. In my mind, That may not be as much of an adjustment as there needs to be for Philadelphia without their low-post stud in the lineup. And, of course, we talk about the MVP. Embiid's not even in the discussion. You look at these numbers, you say, maybe this guy should be in the discussion, obviously. Now, Philly will have to play without him the last couple of weeks of the regular season and potentially into the postseason as well.
You see the sickest beats in baseball, and there was 2 of them yesterday. How about the Red Sox, who were $1.70 against Tampa, 4-0 in the bottom of the 8th. Kelly and Smith combined to blow it. The Jason Stark tweet, they never lost a game all year when they took a lead larger than 2 runs. And the Rays had lost 70 games in a row in which they trailed by 4 runs or more. They win 6-4.
Yeah, exactly. And, Sale left. Chris Sale left with the 4-0 lead, obviously. What do you give up? 1 hit in the 6 innings. But it's a Red Sox team. You talk about Tampa not coming back. Boston hasn't blown leads. And there it is, opening day. Red Sox already with the bullpen concerns. They're not the only team with bullpen concerns on opening day, Pauly. Certainly the Philadelphia Phillies and their backers didn't enjoy what happened in the late innings yesterday.
Now this I'd be pissed off if I had the Phillies for a couple of reasons. So I think they were $1.20. So you're up 5-0 in the 6th. It's okay. It's still 5-2 in the 8th. But you're up 5-0 in the 6th, and Nola's cruising, and Kapler pulls them with 68 pitches in the 6th inning.
Opening day, man. Seemed like a quick hook, obviously. But the bullpen's supposed to be able to hold a 5-0 lead. Instead, Freddie Freeman came in and got a 2-run bomb right off the bat, and 4 of the 5 relievers that Kapler used ended up giving up homers, including a walk-off from Nick Markakis to give Atlanta the victory. Sure, we can bitch about the manager. Manager's going to make calls based on stuff a lot of times we don't even know about. Opening day, you pull him after 6. Nola's in there for the long term. He's their ace. Maybe they want to baby him a little bit. Obviously, yesterday, it cost them and their backers a victory.
Yeah. Newsflash. After the game, Nola said, I had a lot left. Yeah, I'm sure you did. Unbelievable. Bad bets. Dodgers. Great result here in Vegas because it's a Dodger town and they always take money. 275 up to 310, as high as 330 at the Stratosphere. Dodgers lose 1-0. 6 hits. Kershaw had 2 of them. Listless performance offensively.
Yeah, one of a number of games where a pitcher made 1 mistake, and that was it. Kluber losing in Seattle, certainly 1 bad pitch, ball game, because the offense didn't do anything. Joe Panic hit the 1 dinger over Kershaw last night. Ball game, because the offense didn't do anything. Certainly that a good result for the books, both here in Las Vegas and offshore. The Dodgers remain as popular and public a team as there is in Major League Baseball.
Yep. And we gave you that number yesterday, that they're 50-12 the last couple of years when Kershaw starts. Bad bet again, Diamondbacks, Rockies with the Humidor. Total from 9 down to 8, and it landed 10. And the Wizards, this is maybe an overreaction. 1-point dog went off a 2-point favorite because of no Blake Griffin. Drummond had 24 and 23, and the Pistons won by double digits.
Yeah, very, very quietly, the Pistons all of a sudden playing their best basketball in months with Reggie Jackson back at the point.
Yep.
No Blake Griffin, no problem. And watch out for those totals in Arizona. Remember, when the Chase Field roof is open, the ball flies out, but the markets are convinced the humidor effect is going to keep scoring contained at Chase Field this year. Heavy steam on that under. I mean, there was all kinds of wise guys. Every wise guy I talked to loved that under yesterday. Well, none of them were able to cash their bets.
Bad for the books. Everyone's going to go against the Marlins. I don't blame them. They're going to be awful. Cubs $1.85 up to $2.15. Lester didn't have anything, but Happ starts the season, first pitch home run. Rizzo goes deep. Cubbies win 8-4. In Urena, Teddy, we ran down his BABIP that his numbers were a fluke last year. He gets roughed up, and Stanton, first plate appearance, home run. Hits 2 home runs, drives in 4 runs. Yankees 145 up to 165. No sweat against the Blue Jays.
This is a year of haves versus have-nots in MLB, and we saw it very clearly on opening day. Yankees are a have, Cubs are a have. And you talk about the betting markets reacting heavily to Chicago, heavily to New York. Don't know how many opportunities we're going to find to bet against Jose Urena at a cheap price. The markets went nuts against him yesterday. And I don't know how many more opportunities bettors are going to get to buck suspect southpaws against that fearsome Bronx Bombers lineup. Obviously, we saw yesterday the market's in tune with what the Yankees are likely to be doing this year, which is pounding weaker lefties.
All right, 2 more. So 4 teams blew 4-run leads yesterday, and the Brewers and Orioles also blew 9th-inning saves, although they came back to win the game. This was a loser for me. I had the Royals. I can't believe Shields is starting opening day, but the Royals, the White Sox were plus $1.50, went off $1.20 dog. 4-0 Royals in the first, but a 14-7 win for the White Sox. Davidson hits 3 home runs, and the A's from $1.20 down to 105. They were down 5-0. Then Richards gave up a 3-run shot to Davis, and the A's, who were tough at home last year, win 6-5 and 11.
Yeah, I mean, the Angels are certainly a team that a lot of people have circled and highlighted as a team to watch, a team to bet on. In 2018, the hype's been pretty strong. Garrett Richards, he's cruising along. What happens? Walk, home run over a 4-batter stretch. So much for that 4-0 lead. Oakland rallies from behind after Garrett Richards has a little bit of a hiccup to allow them back into the ballgame.
Yes. All right, there were a lot of upsets, but it's a juicy Final Four. Cinderella, Loyola against Michigan, and the big boys, Kansas against Villanova. We'll get to that. And OKC and Denver straight ahead on SportsBit. Betting Insight today on SBRPicks.com.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.
Back on SportsBit 2.0, Pauly and Teddy, time for Big Game Breakdown. Thanks to Intertop Sportsbook. 22 years online. Sign up, deposit, and win. 3 o'clock Pacific tomorrow. From San Antonio, Loyola against Michigan. Michigan 5.5, 129.5 the total. Michigan, how about this graphic? Postseason since their near miss on the runway last March. 14-1 straight up, 10-3-2 ATS, 8-0 in the Big Ten, and 6-1 in the NC2A. And the loss was by 1 point against Oregon in the Sweet 16, and Oregon went to the Final Four. But how good is this Michigan team? Flat against Montana, down 10-0. Just much the best, pulled away late, got the money. Should have lost to Houston, shouldn't be here. 2 missed free throws by Davis, the Poole miracle 3. Terrific performance against A&M, 99 points, and did not play well in an ugly game in the 58-54 win against Florida State. They've only shot the ball once the entire tournament, Teddy.
Sure, and the fact that they've only shot the ball well once in the entire tournament, I think bodes well for their chances moving forward. Get that graphic up there one more time. Look at these freaking numbers. Dude, we talk about Bayline as being bet on all the way. If this graphic doesn't prove it, again, the only loss coming by 1 point against the Ducks, Sweet 16. That being said, Loyola's no joke, man. We've been telling you since the start of the tournament that Loyola plays great fundamental basketball. Here in the tournament, all 5 starters averaging in double digits. All 4 tournament wins for Loyola, they've had a different leading scorer. Some of that we have to take with a grain of salt because they, in every one of those matchups, they were going against young teams that they could exploit. Look at the numbers right here, the graphic. The starters of Loyola's 4 opponents 3 senior starters, 10 underclassmen. They were able to take advantage of some of the miscues that younger teams make. The Wolverines, they're not a younger team.
Well, it's hard to outsmart now Coach Beeline, and Porter Mosier's doing a great job, and he's a hell of a coach. And they also get extra prep time with a week off as well. And the key with Loyola, one thing we like, the different star every single game so far in the 4 wins. They get good shots near the basket, 2-point shot attempts, 58% in the tournament. That's great. But Michigan is number 4 in the country in defense. They don't give up good shots near the basket. 2-point shot attempts, only 42% allowed during the season. That doesn't bode well for Loyola. And also, I don't think those halftime adjustments will be there. That was the case against in the Nevada game and the Kansas State game when they came out on fire shooting the ball in the second half and were getting to the basket.
Sure. And when you look at the numbers for the Loyola offense versus that Michigan defense, boy, it's clear. I mean, this is the fundamental matchup to be concerned. And when you look at the picture, the Wolverines are not giving up anything close to the basket. Number 4 in the country. The question for me is Michigan's offense. Loyola's not going to be running up and down the floor, hitting a bunch of shots against the Wolverines. But Michigan, offensively, they stunk up the joint 3 times in 4 games. The one time where they were rested and ready and in the rhythm with extra prep time against A&M, they went 14 to 24 on 3-pointers. They won the other 3 games despite shooting just 17 of 68 from on the arc. If the Wolverines are going to win this game and win it by margin, my mind's going to come down to their offensive execution more than their defensive execution. I believe their defense will be there. The offense, my biggest concern about the Wolverines.
I love the Loyola offense, the pump fake, the shot fake, Custer, Ingram, Richardson, the big guy down low. And you wonder, though, Teddy, if the moment will be too big. And hard to go against the nun on Easter weekend. Sister Jean's all the rage. But maybe the moment's too big. And also, are you concerned about the shooting background here as they're playing in these big stadiums?
Very much so. Again, when you talk about teams that have been in these big games, you look at all that Michigan tournament experience, Big Ten tournaments, they've been under the spotlight as a group and individually. For Loyola, Sister Jean has been a very effective, what do we call her? I'm not going to call her a mascot. A very effective spokesman for the team because she's taken all the pressure off the kids. All the pressure has been off the kids. Now the spotlight shines on the kids too when they go to the Final Four. And you talk about the Alamodome. Let's make it real plain and simple. This is not a friendly venue for shooters. It hasn't been, not likely to be. So if anyone starts finding a touch from 3-point range, something to pay attention to when it comes to in-game wagering.
All right, excellent point there. Number 2, the late game, Kansas and Villanova. Villanova 5, 155 the total. This Villanova offense, number 1 by far this year, and number 2 in all of college basketball the last 10 years, only behind 2015 Wisconsin. Their numbers are off the charts. They're 4-0 ATS in the tournament. Did they get the money against Radford? Is that true? Well,
yeah, at the very end they did.
Okay. 4 blowouts. Let's just say all wins by double digits. 34-4 on the season. And remember, they had that tough streak. One of the losses was Butler on the road when Butler was 15 of 22 from 3. And then they had Booth was out and Pascal was out as well. No flaws on the offense. Number 1 overall. Number 2 in effective field goal percentage. 15th in 3-point percentage. Number 3 in 2-point percentage. It's an NBA team here with bombs away from 3. You know the run's coming. Spellman can knock down threes. They go 4 of 24 from 3 against Texas Tech, and they still win the game by 12 points. And they're down 6 against West Virginia. Boom, here comes the big run, and they win that game by 12 points. Even when they need a basket at any time, they can post up Brunson, and no one can stop that either.
Yeah, sure. And when you talk about an offense with no flaws, this is legitimately an offense with no flaws. You said it, Pauly, the second best offense statistically in the last 10 years in college hoops. They shoot the ball well, 2-point range, 3-point range. They hit free throws. They don't turn the ball over. That's problematic. And, of course, we're not talking about a senior-laden team. There are no senior contributors for Villanova. But we are talking about a trio in Jalen Brunson, Michael Bridges, and Phil Booth that all played, a combined 60-something minutes in the 2016 National Championship victory over North Carolina. This team has veterans who've been on this stage. Of course, we talk about Nova offensively. Kansas numbers on the offensive end aren't too shabby either. Look at this, Pauly. Number 5 overall,
Yep.
number 6 in effective field goal percentage, great from 3-point range, great from 2-point range. Those are the type of numbers. And, of course, the best offense of the entire Bill Self era. On the boards, however, it's been a different story for the Jayhawks. They have not been particularly good on the rebounding battle.
Cause for concern here. And what happens if Azubuike gets in foul trouble? Offensive rebounding, 143. Defensive rebounding, 290. But they beat Duke on the boards 47-32. They knew how to go against the zone. They ate it up against Duke. Now they're going man-to-man. Here's Self. Quote, now when you say let it fly when a team plays zone, sometimes it's a lot easier. We're not going to get off 33s against Nova. They're going to pressure out. They're going to make us play inside the arc. They do things different than what Duke did, but we have to have the mindset to go score fast and be in attack mode. How about the total on that one, Teddy? Figures to be, you agree it'll be a track meet up and down?
Well, my gut reaction was no freaking way I'm betting this game over. You know, we're not talking, I understand we're talking about 2 elite offensive teams. We're also talking about 2 elite defensive teams in a venue that's not friendly for shooters. And when you start about totals in the mid-150s, you get one of those, 4-minute stretches where the people are lagging and the shots aren't falling and you're fighting an uphill battle the rest of the game. In addition, with the scramble points issue and potential in this contest, there's certainly potential for, you can get 30 points in the last 2 minutes of this game. You also might get 3. And that's a big concern here. The Kansas had an edge that I didn't recognize prior to tip-off against Duke's zone. That edge isn't going to be here. So while we expect a fast tempo in this game, 2 elite offensive teams are going up against 2 elite defensive teams. I'm not sure that the offensive efficiency number is going to be quite what they've been, which makes me a little bit reluctant to get involved with this over.
All right, one more. And thanks to Intertops again, over 4,000 daily wagers. Tonight in the association, a unique spot. The Nuggets against the Thunder. Thunder at home, 3.5, 223.5 the total. It was the Nuggets who beat OKC to town. OKC on the back-to-back. And the big stars played a lot of minutes. More on that in a second. But for Denver, the end of the road, is this the end of the road? Is the end of the road the end of the road for Denver? That's how you want to say it. Last of the 7-game road trip. They're 2-4 so far. No Harris again. Major workload for Murray and Barton with the minutes. And it's a last stand because they're behind the Clippers and they're behind the Jazz, who are currently the 8. Their best chance might be to catch Minnesota. They still have 2 games left against the T-Wolves, but I don't know if they're going to. The Clippers have a tough schedule. This is going to be hard for if the Nuggets lose this game, it's not going to happen, Teddy. Essentially must-win mode with only 5-6 games left if they're going to make the playoffs and jump over a couple of teams.
Sure, but I mean, there will be intrigue in the Western Conference as to who makes the playoffs, potentially even till the final day of the regular season. It's been a rough road trip for Denver. They're 2-4 without Harris. The backcourt's been overworked, and I don't like the mental aspect of this squad right now. Look at these quotes. We have Jamal Murray, quote, all the fundamental things it takes to win a basketball game, we're not doing right now. And Murray went on and on and on. He's not a happy camper. Throwing some veiled criticism at his teammates, perhaps, as well, which is something of concern. Mike Malone, the head coach, we have 7 games to go. Every damn play matters. And right now, we're not playing like every play matters. We're playing like we have 30 games to go in the season, and I can't explain that. It's unacceptable. I do expect a legitimate sense of urgency for the Denver Nuggets tonight. Is that going to be enough? Well, they will be the fresher of the 2 teams, as you mentioned. They've had 2 days off. Yep. While OKC, all their key guys, played big minutes in San Antonio last night. Frankly, not very effective minutes for certainly down the stretch of the fourth quarter of that ball game.
Oh, ugly. Westbrook was taking. That's what Westbrook does. He takes horrible shots with the game on the line. And George played 38 minutes. Westbrook played 37. Adams played 37. They're 1-3 in their last 4. Couldn't make the plays in the fourth quarter and outscored 26-18 by San Antonio. Aldridge was terrific. I mean, Westbrook, again, 2 jacked up air ball threes with plenty of time on the shot clock. One could have tied the game with 12 seconds left. Melo didn't score a point in the fourth quarter. George only got 3 shots, and he had a 3 when they gave him the ball. Were they rusty on offense from too many days off? Donovan, quote, I thought we had some shots that just didn't go down. They were in drop coverage. I thought we missed some pull-up jump shots that we had good looks at. I thought we had some things around the basket that we didn't finish that we had the opportunity to finish. And they're looking at the 5 seed right now, Teddy. They lose the tiebreaker to San Antonio as we sit here and talk today, so they might play those. What a matchup that would be. We might get the Spurs and Thunder in the first round if it breaks right.
Yeah, the Western Conference is going to be interesting, man. But we look at OKC's struggles, and certainly Donovan's quote where he's saying, I thought we had some opportunities by the basket that we missed. Steven Adams stunk last night around the basket. Certainly he was not hitting shots that he normally makes. And this is a Thunder team that has now been out-rebounded 6 times in their last 8 games. Remember, OKC at times has been an elite rebounding team. That's not been the case in recent contests. And in a game like tonight, where energy and urgency are key, OKC's problems on the boards and Denver's urgency towards the ball game. I don't know if I'm going to lay with the Thunder here. It'd be Denver or pass for this better.
All right, very good. Up next, we turn the shot clock on and we get to the play of the day next on SportsBit. Betting Insight today 2.0 on SBRpicks.com.
Go to SBRodds.com. Browse, compare, and shop live odds available at top online sportsbooks.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter. I'm at Real SportsBit. He's at Teddy_covers. Wrapping it up. Let's turn that shot clock on. Who wins the national title now? I'll start. I'm still going Villanova. I know it's chalk, but my God, to me, they were the best team in college basketball all season. We knew Virginia was going to stumble in March. That's what Tony Bennett does. 34-4. And when they shot 50% from 3 in the first 3 games of the tournament, and then they went 4-24 against Tech and still won by double digits. Too many weapons, 6 guys in double figures. Nova wins it all. Your turn.
Oh, come on. Nova, sure, maybe they're live. You can call it a homer pick. Maybe it is a homer pick. I'm taking the Michigan Wolverines. Sure, I went to Michigan. Yeah, it's the Final Four. Understand. But when you talk about a team peaking at the right time, when you go back to the beginning of the show and look at our breakdown of Michigan against Loyola and the numbers for Bayline and the Wolverines in the postseason since that plane skidded off a runway at the start of the Big Ten tourney last year, I'm not betting against the Wolverines. That team is live. And that team is value-laden. Michigan, they'll cut down the nets. Nova, yeah, sure, they're good. Michigan can do it. Remember, they were in the title game 2013 against Louisville, came up short. This time I think they get there.
Yes. All right, let's stay with the Michigan. Let's go back to that game play of the day. What do we want to do?
Game number 8-11, 8-12. We're going to take a look at Michigan and Loyola under 129.5. The Alamodome not going to be a friendly venue for the shooters. I expect strong defense from both squads. Neither team's going to push the pace. Yeah, this one's going to be sluggish. First to 60 wins. Michigan, Loyola under $129.5. That's the play of the day.
All right, very good. Big week coming up Monday, the championship game, right? We have the Masters. Nick Bogdanovich, director of trading. It's going to shatter every record. They're going to blow by the record handle for the Masters. We'll get to that preview. Champions League back with some big matchups as well. And once we get to Wednesday, there's only 1 week left in the regular season in the association. Big week coming up on SportsBit 2.0. Betting Insight today on SBRpicks.com. Tell your friends at Real SportsBet, at Teddy_covers.